trying to build a woman either. Like I think it could go both ways. Like you
Definitely.
got you got to already be the person that somebody is looking for. Because if you're not that person, there is nothing that they can do that's going to make you become the person that they are looking for. So they say you got to date for your future and not your present. So if my plan is to become somebody. Now, let's say somebody's living with their sister, but they got goals and they're working on them goals. That is a whole different story. But if they're just like, I'm in Tremors every night, Tremors don't exist no more. But hey, I'm living it up.
Rumors.
I remember I asked
Or
I asked this girl one time, and I always feel like and I regret coming off like this, right? But this is like, okay, so I got over that roommate shit with my buddy. Cause I was like, nigga, if I gotta do this and all of this, I can do this. I can take care of this shit by myself.
mm,
So I got my own first crib. And I was kind of feeling myself. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm 20, doing it by myself. And I remember I was in the club with this girl. I mean, not with the girl, but this girl, like, she was okay looking. But I was asking her a series of questions, like, what does she like to do, like, outside of the club? Because we all in here on Thursday and Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, what do you do outside of this? She said, well, I go to work really, and I just come to the club. And I was like, that's all? She
that
said, yeah. And I told her, and I regret being so cold about it. But I told her, I was like, man, so you don't got no hobbies, you don't do nothing. She said, nope, I really just come to the club. And I
dang.
told her, I said, well, I'm gonna have to holler at you when you got some more interesting stuff going on in your life. And I feel like that was when I always look back on it, like I just felt like I was wrong for saying that to her.
Why
You
is
know
that
what I
if you
mean?
wanted a deeper woman? Because if she's always at the club, that means that she ain't gonna give time to you if y'all
I
hit it
could
off.
have I could have kept that shit to myself. And I could have just thought it. I could have thought it. You know what I mean? I didn't have to tell her that shit. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Cause once it come out your mouth, you can never take it back. You understand that? So like if I ever get into arguments, let's say I'm in a relationship and somebody's arguing, I don't even argue one. But let's say somebody's trying to argue with me on some relationship stuff. I think about what comes out my mouth 5 times before it come out my mouth. So if I actually say the thing to hurt your feelings, I know what I said. I know women sometimes they blah 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 blah. They don't care what come out. They're gonna tell you everything, and then
It's like a
don't let
cannon.
you have don't let you have a little dingaling because she gonna hit you up
Ooh,
with that.
ooh, nasty.
Hey, then you just start talking about how wide her stuff is, but let me be quiet.
But that
Dang,
don't even matter. But my whole thing, you been hitting that wide
I'm
thing
sorry.
too.
right.
Or you haven't been, and that's why it's wide.
Ooh, y'all wrong for that.
Listen,
But I'm just saying,
I ain't got
I,
nothing
I
to say
always
about
think
that.
it. I always think about what I say, what I'm going to say before I say it, though, because once you let it come out your mouth, I don't care how mad you are,
Okay.
hmm
you can't take it back.
No.
And especially they hitting
definitely.
you low, hitting you low, hitting you low, and you just got this one thing. If I say, "Bitch, you little lazy eye motherfucker," oh no, now
Right.
now you in trouble
I know
hmm
because
that.
you done hit a motherfucker where their insecurity was at.
I
Right.
think
Or
if I
let you
may
be at. No, I was
add,
playing. Look,
I think that that comes with control. So like
Mhm,
with a woman, if we're just honest about what women do, let's just be real.
mhm,
Um, women are very sensitive natured, and so we tend to use our mouth as a sword.
mhm.
And if you don't
hmm
have control over that sword, you will kill somebody with that mouth. And
Yep.
and women know that. And
Mhm.
so I'm not saying that men don't have to have control over their mouth. I'm just saying women have to have more control over their mouth
Right.
because we tend to do more damage with our mouth. I feel like, this is my opinion, that men can do more damage physically and emotionally, where women use our mouth and it could trigger all of those. Mentally, we can hurt, emotionally, that verbal, we can do a lot of that with our mouth if we don't have the control.
Go ups.
I think control really is going to come from maturity and growth because we don't typically have that at a young age. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, girl, tell them how you feel. You know, just tell them what's on your mind.